Hello and welcome to another episode of Bad Pitch Energy. I am joined by my co-host, Robyn. How are you today, Robyn?
I'm good. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm not good.
I mean, I remember texting you over the weekend and you were like blackout drunk, crashing out after the Mets lost a 10th time in a row.
Can you blame me, Robyn? This is a life of suffering. It is a life of no joy because the thing that's supposed to give you joy, your baseball team, sucks. They don't know how to win a game. They don't know how to play with any. They are the most I've never. Okay, here's where I'm at right now. Here's where I'm at. They are so extremely unclutch. It is so embarrassing. And the problem is, at least last year and in previous years, we had an identity. Like, I knew the players. Oh, Pete Alonso striking out in a big spot. What else is new? Oh, there's good old Brandon Nimmo, the pride of Wyoming, choking again. Now, I don't even know. Marcus Semien. Hello, sir. Welcome to the team. Bo Bichette. Jorge Polanco can't stay healthy to save your life. And so it's like, I think what is hard for me right now is the Mets not playing good baseball is nothing new to me. Now, 11 straight is quite tough. 11 straight losses as of this recording is unimaginable. But at least they were, to an extent, the lovable losers in the past. I don't recognize half this team. And the problem is this team has no identity. And so I can't even tell you what a strength of the 2026 New York Mets is. It's not the bullpen. We don't have a closer as far as I'm concerned. Devin Williams does not know how to close out a game. And you know what? I don't know what was wrong with me. And shame on you, Robyn. We were in the same.
Shame on me.
Shame on you, Robyn.
How on shame on me?
Because
You're the one that's crashing out right now. Shame on me.
Shame on you, Robyn, for letting me draft Devin Williams in my fantasy draft.
I never made that decision for you. You did that to yourself.
Okay.
Do not blame me for your poor draft choices.
Shame on me. Okay. So we don't have a bullpen as far as I'm concerned. Luke Weaver, I think I said on the season prediction, oh, he's going to be a great addition. He sucks. He does not know how to pitch. Fine. Our starting rotation doesn't know how to pitch deep into games. Okay.
I mean, Nolan McLean.
Good. We have one. We have one guy who can do it one time.
Hey, at least y'all's bullpen or your starting rotation isn't all on the IL.
It's even worse. I'd rather them be hurt. I would rather them be hurt because then at least we have an excuse. Oh, at least this team is not good because they are all hurt. We don't have an offense as far as I'm concerned. Bo Bichette. Get that man some poutine ASAP because Bo Bichette
send him back to Canada.
How to hit a baseball. I mean, what is going on? Francisco Lindor, and we can get into this in a minute. I am extremely bothered by the Francisco Lindor and Lindor family hate. That being said, it seems as if Francisco Lindor forgot to play baseball. Because the one thing I could count on Francisco for, he always starts the year ice cold. Like right now, this is peak Francisco Lindor in the month of April. Man doesn't realize season starts until June 1st, but once he does, he makes up for it the rest of the season. The problem is right now, he doesn't even know how to play defense. He looks like he is in a daze, and he admits as such, like, oh, I don't really know what happened out there. I was just sort of like, sir, you wanted to be the captain of this team. So
maybe it's him like crashing out because he was supposed to be the captain. Steve Cohen said, I'm not doing any captains. So he's like, well, fuck me, I guess.
And I'm so glad because Steve Cohen clearly knows something we don't. He's not a leader of a baseball team, Francisco Lindor. And I'm not piling on. I will defend him in just a moment here, but he does not know how to lead and inspire others. And that is very clear from the fact that they have lost 11 games straight. And talking about Steve Cohen. Okay. Steve, you quite possibly changed my mind when you bought the New York Mets about what is it now, 4 or 5 years ago? we went from having the most broke owner who got ripped off in a Ponzi scheme to having the richest owner in professional sports. Amazing. What could go wrong? Well, what could go wrong is that we are just as bad as we were when we had no money. And then he goes to Los Angeles. He goes to Los Angeles and he's sitting there tweeting from the field. Oh, I saw some green shoots tonight. I saw Nolan McLean pitch into the 7th inning. I saw some really great offensive productions. And then they go on and they still lose, what, 4 to 5 games in a row? You saw some. What is a green shoot, Robyn? Tell me what a green shoot is. What is it? What does it mean?
Girl, I don't know. You have just as much of a guess as I do.
And here's the thing. I am colorblind, so maybe they don't look green to me. But nothing
Is he
about
talking about grass?
I know he said green shoots. It must be. I really don't know. But whatever green shoot is, he saw them at Dodgers Field. Sorry, Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium. And so Steve is very happy with what's happening. He's very happy. He thinks there's some green shoots happening. And then they went to Chicago and they got swept. Green shoots. And so the problem is, I just don't understand what is going on with this team. They are far too talented and have way too much of forget payroll at this point. Payroll is negligible. But the problem is they forgot how to play baseball. They forgot how to play baseball. And to me, I'm almost at the point where I just hope they never win another game ever again.
Y'all going for like an 8 and 155? No, wait.
Get us the number. I want the number 1 draft pick.
7 155. 155 year.
I think DraftKings has a bet right now. When is the next time the Mets will win a game? And they list like the next 15 games. Like, I don't know how you could be such a bad baseball team. But the problem is they just look like they don't care. They don't care. That's the problem. And it's one thing to be like, hey, we have a lot of injuries like the Astros do. Although that's no excuse. Yes, Juan Soto is currently on the injured list. He'll be back very soon, though. He saw Michael Jackson on Broadway. He's ready to go. But it's another thing to be playing absolutely uninspired baseball. And that is exactly what we're seeing with the Mets. They just don't care, win or lose. And this is the exact same thing we saw last year. Towards the end of the season, they went from starting so strong, having the best record in baseball come June. And then they completely crashed and burned for the remainder of the season. And it was, oh, well, we tried. The guys it just didn't come together. And so I just don't know what to make of this team because they have so much talent, yet they are so bad. And so I know everybody's saying, oh, should they fire the manager? Should they fire the manager? I don't know. I guess. Sure. At this point, you have to try something because when you have a talented roster, you have a talented pitching rotation who should be getting you deep into games. You have what should be an elite offense. You have a bullpen that is, yes, there's some gaps there, but they should be able to, at the very least, pitch the 8th and the 9th inning and close it down. You have to do something. You have to do something. Sitting here and saying, we'll try again tomorrow and losing 12 straight, 13 straight, 14 straight, 20 straight, 25 straight is not good enough. And so I think, as much as I don't think this is Carlos Mendoza's fault, it's not his fault. He didn't put this roster together. He's not out there playing first base, second base, third base, pitching, closing. But I think we're at the point now where you have to do something to change the, oh, shucks, we'll get them again tomorrow, boys. And then you don't, in fact, get them tomorrow. Like that's the problem. I'm tired of hearing they really tried hard tonight, guys. No. So unfortunately, I do think it has to be say goodbye to the manager. I don't care if you bring in, they're talking about Carlos Beltran. That's fine. He was our manager for about 10 business days before he got fired. Bring him in and let's give him a try. Bring in, I don't know, they've got a bench coach, Kai Correa. Bring him in, but elevate him. I don't freaking care at this point. They need to do something because I am sick and tired. I don't even watch the Mets on TV anymore. Now, granted, I was in Chicago this weekend. and I watched them on Saturday. But I haven't watched a Mets game on SNY on TV in over a week because they're playing awful baseball. They are playing such bad baseball. And in previous years, Robyn, I would be able to say, oh, the Mets suck, but you know what? I've got the Astros. I've got the Houston Astros to raise my spirits, my adopted hometown. Well, forget that because the Astros are awful as well. What is going on with the Astros, Robyn? I'm sorry. I'm sick. I'm absolutely. The Mets are just. You can only go so long with them playing with your emotions like this. Like they spend money. They don't spend money. They sign players. They don't sign players. They change. It is just a. Listen to me. If I had a child, I'm not saying I'm going to have one or I have one. I don't have children. But if I did, my child would not be a New York Mets fan. I would not subject my child to that existence. So thanks, Dad, for that. Yes, it built character. It made me resilient. But honestly, I'm so freaking sick and tired of this team. Robyn, how are the Astros? Let's talk about the Astros.
Oh gosh, I did not expect Tom to crash out so soon and so fast because I would say, well, while Tom was getting blackout drunk in Chicago, I got myself a bucket hat after also a loss, multiple losses in Houston. I mean, while he was getting drunk, we were having a great time texting since Dana was crashing out as well.
You didn't appreciate my karaoke.
You had FaceTimed us as when Joe Francisco started his whole honestly, discount Freddie Freeman. He needs to stop doing whatever he's doing to his face because he looks like uncanny at this point. Anyways, no, he's just starting his little shtick where like everyone's cheering in the background because they want to be on TV and not because they actually like him, but he thinks that he's some big time celebrity, so he always turns around and tries to high five people. Anyway, so that was starting. So that was starting as you were FaceTiming us and trying to serenade us. So I couldn't even hear you.
You were distracted.
I couldn't even hear you. And then Dana was on the phone too, because Dana was also like, she was recovering after getting fleeced by my sister and me.
Yeah, and you should have let it happen.
Oh, Zoe has a conscience. Zoe does have a bit of a conscience. So she's like, I would like to sleep at night, you know? So originally so Zoe has Juan Soto. Dana was so desperate to get Juan Soto on her team that she was willing to give up Kyle Schwarber, Kyle Stowers, and Shota Imanaga.
That was a great trade.
And we had to cancel it. We had to get everyone in the league to veto it so Dana could try again with a little less of a fleecing.
Well,
but anyways, so at that time, we're all joking because we're probably talking about me going up to New York with y'all to see in August, see the Astros and Mets series. And we're all like, you know what? Maybe we both need new teams. Is it time to become an Angels fan or something?
God. I mean, here's the problem. I have an American League team, which is the Astros. I have a National League team, which is the Mets. I don't know where I go from here. Like, you're not about to, catch me jumping on the Dodgers bandwagon or at this point I'll become a Marlins fan, because here's the thing with the Marlins. At least they have a reason for being awful. They don't spend money. Nobody goes to their games. They don't have fans. I know one Marlins fan in real life. One. So at this point, go Marlins, go fish. Okay, go fish. Because I'm so sick and tired of Robyn, you just baited me, okay? All right, so.
How'd I bait you?
We're choosing the teams. Robyn is choosing the Angels.
I am not choosing the Angels. Okay, so the thing is, I kind of also potentially chose the Blue Jays, except the Blue Jays and the Astros alliance are both on the IL. And so Zoe's out here going, is it time for me to become a Brewers fan? Since her whole fantasy roster is like all Brewers. So we're definitely going to the Brewers game and getting our little gym bag, Astros gym bag. But I'm just like, what's this?
Listen, I don't know, Robyn. I don't know what to make of this anymore. I don't know what to make of the Mets being so awful. I don't know how to get this off my screen.
But anyways, I mean, if we want to talk a little bit about the Astros, since we talked a bit about, we let you crash out a bit about the Mets.
Yeah.
I will say the vibes this time around has been weird. I guess we'll get a little bit more into the weirdness in a bit. But I feel like, since we talked about mentioned the Angels as well, I feel like we are very much wasting Yordan Alvarez's prime. And I feel like we're going to talk about the Astros this year similarly to how we talk about the Angels with Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Because Yordan Alvarez is insane. He's literally insane. He was the first guy to hit 10 home runs this season, and he's on track to actually hit 70, while the Astros are on track to only win 60 games this year. We are on track to lose at least 100 games. And here Yordan is like, hitting home runs left and right. His stats are literally off the charts right now, and he's like essentially above 90th percentile across every single offensive stat, which is completely unheard of. Yeah. Our pitching is straight ass. Our starters aren't lasting. Everyone's ending up on the IL. Taylor Trammell just left. Okay, we are winning this game right now against the Guardians. I say that knock on wood because each time I turn away, like, something always happens. But Taylor Trammell just exited this game. I think he might have pulled something. I don't know. Yeah. We have players on our team who I have no idea who they are. Like, who the hell is Dustin Harris? Could not tell you.
What does he look like?
I don't know. Like, legitimately, I don't know who any of these people are now.
I've never actually heard of that name in my life.
No, I think we just acquired him from like a minor league team or something for cash consideration or something like that. We have the worst team ERA in the entire league at 6.11. The way we would kill for a 4 ERA pitcher right now is so sad.
That'd be nice.
It's just bad baseball around. Fans at the same time are also talking about telling Crane to sell the team, firing Dana Brown, firing Joe Espada. Someone call up Omar Lopez. Like, they're like, it must kill to be Omar Lopez after just winning the WBC.
I know.
You're just a bench coach. I mean, then who knows what's going on with Tatsuya Mai right now? Like, it's been really frustrating to hear his interviews where he's just, talking about being homesick and having trouble adjusting, which is understandable. But at the same time, like, you also have people just being so vile and nasty and honestly kind of racist about it. So now it's like, now you got me having to defend him. So like, this team is, I feel this is a little bit my little rant. Like, this team is literally sucking all the joy out of me right now.
Yeah. It's been a very weird April for the Astros. I think for Imai specifically, there's definitely, and I don't say this to be like flippant, there are things that are lost in translation here. And I think what's happening is he's saying things and he's responding very literally to the questions the media are asking him. And he's being very honest about it too. So I hate to say it, but unfortunately, like, he probably does need more media training to just be more guarded because the media is going to run with everything that he's saying. But at the end of the day, he's talking about he's missing home. He's missing the routines. He's missing all of the things. And that is respectable, but ultimately you're being paid millions of dollars to suck it up.
Right.
And I just think it's just like it's a weird spot because I think like it was like 72 hours after his injury, and he's like, I think I've gotten my strength back in my arm because they put him on the IL for arm fatigue. And I'm like, I don't think it
works like that.
I don't think it works quite like that. I mean, maybe it's close, but I don't know. We're just in a weird place. Like, right now, and I think this is a perfect segue to like why the MLB is very odd this year. Like we are granted only about we're about 4 weeks into the season now, 4 full weeks. And we're in a very weird place where, if you told me that the Rangers and the Athletics and the Angels would be leading the AL West, I wouldn't believe you even this time of year.
Okay, but I will also say that the AL West, every single team is below 500. Why you have like the NL Central where every single team is above 500. So it's just like everything is just feels very weird. So we are definitely at the bottom of our division right now, and everything is still like within a couple games of each other. So things are about to change.
And again, like I'm not going to get bent out of shape about April statistics. There is always weirdness in baseball this time of year. I totally get that. But the Astros being in last place, that is not what I expected. The Toronto Blue Jays being in last place in the AL East, that is not what I expected. The New York Mets being the worst team in baseball is not what I expected. And so we're just in a very weird place. And again, this will change very quickly. 1 month from today, things will look very, very different. But I think besides like raw wins and losses, there's just been a lot of weirdness that's happened in baseball so far this season, Robyn.
Yeah. I mean, we can just do a whole rundown of what's been really weird that's happening. Jarren Duran, oh my goodness. He flipped off the fan during a Red Sox game when they're playing in Minnesota.
What's with this guy?
It was such a weird visual too, because he had just ground out and he's flipping a fan off. So everyone's like, what's going on, dude? Especially since he's been one who's been known to have controversy for fan interactions in the first place, considering he called someone an F slur before for even just like, chirping ahead him a little, like use a tennis racket, da da da. So then after the game, he came out and said like, oh, the fan told him to kill himself. So it's one of those things where like, okay. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where like, again, it's just weird. I feel like I really have two things to say about it. First thing is like, I think fans in general are also getting a bit too comfortable with how they speak to players, especially with the chirping and the death threats. Like, for example, I think was it last year when Lance McCullers Jr. had such a bad game that fans literally sent death threats to his family because they had placed bets on him and lost a lot of money. But at the same time, it is still kind of weird that it's always Jarren Duran who's getting this hot water for his responses, especially since after he said that, like the Twins even said that they were going to investigate, but like nothing came of it. So it's always like, is this an excuse? Is he using his mental health as an excuse to kind of be a little bit of a dick? But also just the image of flipping someone off after getting ground out was a bit weird. But at this, like, not trying to victim blame or victim shame at all, but also this is one of those situations where like, if you give any chirping a response, you already lost.
Yes.
Like no one is going to.
Yeah.
Like you gave them the attention that they wanted.
And unfortunately, Robyn, like that is why you get paid. And not that this should be part of the job, but the reason you get paid millions and millions of dollars a year to play a game, which is a privilege in its own right, is unfortunately to have thick skin. Right. And I'm not condoning the behavior of the fans that allegedly said this to him. 100% wrong if it happened. You are totally right, Robyn. We're now in this era of like the Twitter discourse reaching just like everyday life and folks at baseball games saying things that they would normally say behind a keyboard. Disgusting behavior in its own right. But ultimately, your job is to go out there and to ignore it. And not respond to it. And I hate that we're even in this situation where you have to be dealing with that. But ultimately, that is what the game is now.
Right.
Like, unfortunately, we are not going back to the times where it's like, oh, everybody gets along. And that is not the climate of our country right now. That is not the climate of Major League Baseball. And so I think we're just in a weird spot of, for whatever reason, it's always Duran is always involved in these things.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what makes it weird to me.
Yeah.
Especially since like no one came forward and said, yeah, we heard it too. So it's just like, again, I'm not saying that it didn't happen because it is very disgusting. You should never behave that way at a game. But at the same time, it's like, huh, interesting. Yeah. It's Jarren Duran again.
I agree. Weird. Very, very odd behavior.
Weird. And then, this happened while you were blackout drunk in Chicago.
I think blackout is a bit of a stretch.
You had 20 drinks.
Okay, it was a little bit under that, but Robyn, I'd never lost I was fully awake and ready to go the entire time.
Okay, but the thing is, the way you were texting us, it was so like, it reached the point where like, I have no idea what he's saying.
Okay, but I was using voice to text and it was not helpful. It was not calculating what the spirit of what I wanted to say correctly. I went back and I read them yesterday. I was like, oh. And then I was listening to the voice memo. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
This voice memo.
There was like a love fest going on. You kept telling Dana and me to say I love you back. And you got upset when I was like, I love you too, Dana. You're like, no, only me.
Damn.
But anyways, while you were having the time of your life in Chicago, it also came out that Salvador Perez, like captain, like actually named captain of the Kansas City Royals, was having beef with his own manager.
What is that about?
Like, so the Royals themselves have also been playing like just very bad baseball.
Yes.
And that's the other thing. It just feels like every team is either playing very good baseball or very bad baseball, and there's like no in between. But Kansas City also playing very bad baseball. Salvi is in a bit of a slump probably. So he was taken off the roster, and manager goes on what's his name?
Matt Quatraro.
Yeah. He came on and said, oh, I'm giving him a day off so he can give him a mental breather. Salvi goes onto Twitter and goes, I don't need a mental breather. And at the same time, he also goes on Twitter where he shares a story, like an article talking about it. And he just writes in like in all caps, fake. So like, and then like another like Royals like beat reporter was like saying that they've also called up catcher Elias Diaz from like AAA Omaha. And there's no space for him right now on the 40-man roster, which means a corresponding move has to happen. So everyone's kind of like going, oh shit, why is the captain of the Royals super respected in their locker room?
Oh, 100%.
Why is he having a very public feud with their manager online?
Good question.
Like, weird.
I mean, here's a problem. This is what bad baseball does to people. Like the Royals are playing awful baseball right now. They are just as bad as the New York Mets. And so they are in a place where, tensions are high, folks are stressed. I do have to say, though, I am a little bit disappointed in Salvador Perez, only because you are the captain. Like, your job is to wear it. Your job is to toe the company line. When things get tough, you are standing up for the organization and your guys in the locker room and yourself. But it was not a good look for him to go out and essentially expose the Royals manager and kind of say like, oh, this is not quite truthful. That to me is like what I'm personally very worried about happening on the New York Mets, and thankfully it hasn't happened yet. But that to me manifests all season long. And so I think if we are seeing these cracks publicly, I can only imagine what is happening inside the locker room while they're having meetings. And so that makes me, as someone who's a huge Salvador Perez fan and now has a vested interest in his success since I had to pick him up in fantasy recently, I am a little bit worried about where he and the Royals are going. And also, it was just a really cool story to see, like, a guy stay with the organization long term, be named the captain. And I don't want this to kind of tarnish his legacy, because when you're the captain of a baseball team, that really is a big honor, and it's not something that happens frequently at all. And so I think I do hope that they're able to mend fences. I think probably what this means is the
Yeah.
manager will be fired in a couple of months, if not sooner. Because if you lost the captain of your team, you've lost the locker room.
Right. So apparently they've made up today or whatever, according to what they've told the reporters. I mean, I doubt it, but at the same time, if you looked at the public opinions, they were more or less siding with Salvi over their manager, just because of how respected he is as a player.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a locker room to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
To see if anything else happens. And then, of course, the Dodgers are going to Dodger.
Oh my God. The Dodgers. Okay. Number one, my condolences to Edwin Diaz, who unfortunately could not shake the curse of the New York Mets, and he is out for the foreseeable future. He's going to be out for at least 3 months. Edwin has had a rough start to the season. I think that's the only part that has made, and I hate to say this, but like the only part of seeing Devin Williams completely choke has been that Edwin Diaz has been so bad for the Dodgers, over a 10 ERA. His velocity has dipped. But here's where I kind of struggle is I love Edwin Diaz. I am an Edwin Diaz fan. Yes, I want him to still be on my team. He's not anymore, but I still really, really enjoy watching the guy play baseball. So it was tough to see the news today after seeing his dip in velocity that he's got some loose body.
Yeah, I saw them. Like, what does that even mean? Having loose body parts in your arm?
It's just like stuff floating around that's causing irritation, and so he's gonna have to get that kind of scoped out.
No, but like, what does that mean? How do you have loose parts in your arm? Did something like? I'm saying that as someone who like works adjacent to medicine, right? Like, obviously, like I have doctors in the family. I can probably ask her, but like when you see loose body parts, like what does that mean?
I almost want. Great question, Robyn, because it just sounds like way too literal than what I'm sure is actually happening. Right. I wonder if it's just like parts of the ligament have torn off and or
maybe
like atrophy. I'm very unsure. All I know is it has clearly impacted Edwin because he struggled immensely. Not good news for the Dodgers. I think Dodgers now are going to be either doing a closer by committee or, possibly naming one of their setup guys to be the closer. But yes.
I was like, can we just say, like, let's hope it's Blake Trinan who gets who gets named as their closer, because he's also been not good.
I mean,
so as a Dodger hater, that is my.
I'm hoping it's Tanner Scott, because I immediately picked up Tanner Scott today on the hopes that he will be named the Dodgers closer. One thing we've learned about Dave Roberts, though, is Dave has no problem doing a closer by committee. And who am I to argue? It's clearly worked for him. Right. And so I think, sorry to hear Edwin. I hope he's able to recover and get back to peak form. But ultimately, if Edwin were on the Mets right now, you thought I was crashing out before, I wouldn't even be able to record, Robyn. But Robyn, that's actually not what we wanted to talk about.
No, that was just that was breaking news today.
Yeah, that just happened before we came on. What's happening with this team, though?
Okay, actually, going back to your fishing comment.
Yes.
Dodgers have been making some fishy comments.
Yes,
and the Rockies have been responding. So Dodgers have been playing the Rockies this weekend. Yeah. And let's just say that their catcher that day, Dalton Rushing, after an interview, he said something along like, it's kind of fishy that the Rockies have been hitting. Yep. And it's like, okay, so clearly someone does not know how to read a scouting report, because if anyone knows, the Rockies swing on everything. And if you're going to throw some meatballs down the middle, they're going to connect.
Correct. And they did. They did. I listen, that to me is so funny. The Dodgers can win all these games, but when they lose, all of a sudden, and shame on Dalton Rushing, dude, you've been up here for, as they say, a cup of coffee. You have barely been in the major leagues, right? And so for him to make that insinuation is so silly. Like the
Right.
Rockies are going to choose to cheat against the Dodgers. I get like for your ego, it's probably tough to lose to the Rockies, who are not a good baseball team. They are
Right.
not a well-run organization, although I think they're trending in the right direction. But ultimately,
Mhm.
you should be sweeping every series against the Rockies if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so that was just a very weird comment, but I think it was just really cool to see how the Rockies responded to it later in the
Yes.
week.
Yes. You know how last week we were talking about I want to see more whimsy in the Sellies? That's
Yes.
what the
Yes.
Rockies brought. They did the going fishing. They threw the lines whenever they
Yep.
made a hit.
Yep.
They reeled it in. So that, you
Brilliant.
know what? Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Hilarious. Honestly, the funniest part was Dave Roberts next day goes, yeah, they just threw some really bad breaking balls. There was nothing fishy going on. I'm like, I was like, so dude just called a bad game and could not own up that he called a bad game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Tough. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's so easy to
mhm.
pile on the Dodgers. It's so easy to call them out for, spending so much. But
Mhm.
honestly, I think part of the reason like I really struggle with the Dodgers is because some of their players are just really, really unlikable.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I hope Mr. Rushing, takes some time to reflect about his comment and like, no, it's probably not something, because here's the thing about baseball.
Mhm.
It is very, very unlikely you're going to be with the same organization for the
Mhm.
duration of your career. Like that is a very rare thing these days. So it's best not to be making these very flippant comments about other teams. And so I don't know. I hope he does some self-reflection here. But I think what he said is just very emblematic of why people don't like the Dodgers
Yes.
and Dodgers,
Yes.
both Dodgers players and Dodgers fans, if I'm being honest with
Yes.
you.
So I would say one of the main reasons why I also don't like the Dodgers is just their fan base. Literally
Yeah.
like the most miserable fan base online. Um, you literally have everything going your way. You just
Yeah.
won back-to-back World Series. Why are you still so miserable? It's like
Mhm.
literally the most insecure fans. You can be talking about anything like I think this was a Johnny Junta tweet or something where he'd be like tweeting about Christmas, and then all the Dodger fans in his comments are like tweeting him pictures of the game 7, and he's
Mhm.
like, it's just like very much like, dude,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
But no, so like another thing that happened this week really was that I guess a Dodger fan got really upset that they were in like San Francisco. They saw like San Francisco's like I don't know quite remember what their metro line is called, but they had a sign on there basically saying like as kind of like a little joke because like the Giants and the Dodgers do historically have a rivalry about
Yeah.
like don't dodge like metro fares, and Dodger fans were literally crashing out
Oh,
because the
yes.
image they used had a blue baseball hat. Literally nothing else besides maybe like don't be a Dodger like and
Mhm.
like with the metro fares,
Yep.
but they're like this is intentional, this is da 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 this da 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 that, and everyone's like okay, can y'all like
Calm down.
this is like a calm down, this is a sign of a good rivalry, these signs have been up forever,
Yeah.
like
They're hypersensitive. And so if you're watching
yeah.
on YouTube or Spotify right now, we have the image of this advertisement. Don't be a Dodger, pay your fare. Now I'm gonna be honest. Whoever created this graphic does not like the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very
Absolutely.
much targeted towards the Dodgers. I think they have, the Dodger blue, the blue hat.
Mhm.
That being said, Dodgers fans, this is the cost of being the best team in baseball and winning
Awesome.
back-to-back World Series. Like, I don't know what to tell you, and it should be worth it. Like, to me, if you were to tell me, Robyn, as a Mets fan, hey,
Mhm.
you are going to be the best team in baseball, you're going to win multiple World Series,
Mhm.
but you are going to be hated universally by all of baseball. Sign me up for that 8 days a week.
Right. But also, can we just say the name Dodger literally came from being a trolley Dodger? When you were still the Brooklyn Dodgers,
Correct.
that's where your Dodger name came from.
Correct. Wild. Wild.
Who knew? But
Who knew?
Like,
who knew?
Stop being so insecure. Like, Jesus.
I don't know.
Also, but like, also just some weird stuff has also happened this week.
So I totally missed this, Robyn, until you filled me in earlier today. What is going on?
So this is actually cracking me up. Like, so one of the Brock Belu was robbed and assaulted in Philadelphia last Thursday, but still ended up umpiring the next night. And then a Tigers game on the 14th was delayed because the home plate had explosive diarrhea. Like, they literally stopped the game so the could go shit his pants.
No.
So, I mean, like, we were joking about, is this time for a diarrhea cha-cha-cha refrain? When I tell you, no. So I will say, one of my favorite parts of playing fantasy baseball has always been the comments. One of the main reasons why I love Brandon Woodruff so much was because of some comment people made during his like really extensive IL stint last year. Hilarious. So this diarrhea cha-cha-cha refrain like lives in my mind rent free because these fans are just brilliant. I can just do a couple just to show how good it is. Like, this, when you're aiming for the plate, but your stomach says too late, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. When you're pitching in the third and you drop a little turd, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea. When you're in a pickle and you feel a wiggle, diarrhea. When you're trying to quality start, but you suddenly need a shart. Oh gosh, no! It just keeps going. It's just bars. These are bars.
How do people?
When you're working up a batter and you hear something splatter, just incredible work.
How do people come up with this?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know.
Oh my gosh, wild. Okay, one more thing on in terms of like how people come up with this. I am just baffled.
Yeah.
So last season, the Mets had a Pride Night. They had the Pride flag waving along with the United States flag. Okay. And people said this is why the Mets had such a bad 2025 is because they waved the Pride flag and they had a Pride Night. Okay. Predictable, usual suspects. Moving on. Now, the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, elected towards the end of last year, took office in January. He is a democratic socialist. He does not shy away from that.
He's also a Mets fan.
He's also a Mets fan. First Mets fan mayor that we've had in quite a while. And so he was recently at Citi Field in Queens, and there's a picture and video of him hugging Mr. and Mrs. Met. Here's a problem. The Mets have not won a game since. And of course, you now have media outlets such as Fox News and Twitter who are completely running this with this story. This is a headline from Fox News today. New York Mets suffer longest losing streak in 15 years after Mamdani visit. And it is a picture of Mayor Mamdani hugging Mr. Met and Mr. Met touching Mamdani's head. I don't know why these things happen to the Mets. It is just it's again, all I see on Twitter now is this is the reason that the Mets have gone on this losing streak is Mamdani and his radical supporters, Francisco and Katia Lindor, right? Because Katia Lindor, it was on his inaugural committee. Why do only the Mets get saddled with these bizarre storylines where they are now in one of the worst losing streaks in 15 years because allegedly Mr. Met hugged Mayor Mamdani of New York City? Why does this happen to us, Robyn? I just don't know.
It's just funny. Legitimately just funny how all the right-wing media outlets are just running with these stories like as a dig to the Mets, as a dig to Mamdani. And it's like, you you have like literally have no ground to stand on. And it really sucks to see, especially happening to the Lindor family.
Yeah. I really struggle with that.
Because you are literally seeing tweets where like Katya Lindor was the mastermind behind why all the conservative players got traded away.
Yes. She's actually the general manager of the New York Mets, in case you didn't know. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, and to me, I know we spoke about before with Jarren Duran and like how he should ignore the noise. I still stand by what I said, but ultimately with Francisco Lindor, it's all encompassing. Like, it's not even so much what the folks in the stands are saying. It's the online vitriol that has been directed his way, but not just his way. And this is where it's really hard, is towards his wife and towards his children. And that to me is just so unacceptable. And I've been very, very disappointed with Mets fans who have really run with this. Hey, you know what? The Mom Donnie thing, it's funny. I'm laughing at it. Like, that is silliness.
It's a good meme. It's a good meme.
Fine. But it's then taking it, and Mets fans are known to do this. It's taking it the next step further. It's taking it a little bit too far and attacking the character of a man who's been really good for our team, ultimately, but also his wife and kids. Beyond unacceptable. Wife and children should be off limits. We've said that time and time again. And so that's been very disappointing amid this like kind of funny Mom Donnie meme situation with the Mets. But anyway, Robyn, I have one more thing for the Mets, and that's actually going to be part of my wild pitch of the week.
All right, I'll let you go first then.
My wild pitch of the week, Robyn, it is short and sweet. Abolish the New York Mets. And that is all.
Boy. I thought it was going to be something along the lines of letting the Mets cheat for like the next month or something.
I mean, hey,
giving them permission from the commissioner.
Here's the great part about that. You could let the Mets cheat for the next month. They would still not make the playoffs. They would still find a way to fumble that gift that they were given. So at this point, I just say abolish the New York Mets. Robyn, what is your wild pitch of the week?
Oh, Lord. Okay. So mine, I think, is just because I've been just on Twitter just a bit. And can we actually just get rid of all the Muse accounts and actually most of the Is King accounts? Like, I know when we first started this podcast, we were like, ha ha ha, Cutter is king is kind of funny. But at this point, it's like, there are way too many of them, and I feel like they're all run by like 16-year-old boys who have spent a little too much online in incel spaces and not enough time outside actually touching grass. Looking at you, Max Fried experience. It's just really bad trolling across the board, but it's not even bad trolling. It's like misogynistic sometimes. It's just poor rage baiting. Like Clark is king. Julio is king, just bad rage baiting. Like a lot of these Muse accounts are really obnoxious. Like the Kim Hye-sung one literally crashed out on the internet for days when Hye-sung Kim was not selected for the 40-man team while another player was. So like literally crashing out and like trying to drag your own team's like player down. And then like earlier when Munetaka Murakami hit like 2 home runs in a game, and like the White Sox, White Sox have been doing pretty good. I've been really happy with this move for them. So Hye-sung Kim's like he's working so hard because he's gonna be a Dodger in 2 years, and it's like, this is why people don't like you. No one, we know you guys poach all the good players.
I agree.
So it's just like I'm over all these Muse accounts. I'm over all these Is King accounts.
I think it just goes back to, Robyn, like Twitter being such a cesspool.
Yeah.
Such a cesspool. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Bad Pitch Energy. It has
we probably I said we might crash out next week. Hopefully this is the only crash out you'll see.
As we were sitting here today, the Astros just won a baseball game. So that's positive.
Yeah.
The Mets, here's the good news also. The Mets did not lose today because they do not have a game today. Oh, and by the way, I'm still in 13th place in fantasy baseball. I was in 12th.
You did make it up to 12. You did make it up to 12 very briefly.
Oh boy. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Bad Pitch Energy.
We'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.